Alright, new rules. If you don't love me and kiss my ass, you're blocked. Bye. You will be replaced, you always are. For those of you accusing me of loving my hug boxes, yep, now what?
What are you doing?
I'm just commiserating with the Beezers.
No.
Oh, did I mention I'm an empath? Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Marc's around. Say hi, Marc.
Hey everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Marc. Either welcome or welcome back. And happy Saturday. It's the weekend. Coffee after 2 p.m. Black and tan. 8 o'clock. Splenda and plain unsweetened almond milk. It's good stuff. So I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Today we are revisiting our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, The Beezer Show, and of course Foodie Beauty again. Now we were live last week, and thanks for everyone who came. It was kind of short notice, I know. But we went over, you know how lives are. We covered a little of this, a little of this, a little of that. We talked about her relationship with Natter, or non-existence of it, her ability to not see the non-existence of it. By and large, I think that was probably most of it. Going into this week, it's more interesting, but it's not. Because I would say about a third of the content is fighting in the community posts and fighting online and calling with Natter. It's all still Natter. It's just her not understanding it's been over for a while. So, today we're going to talk about her being an empath. Or her belief that she's an empath. We'll weigh in. The kind of lover motorcycle guy? Where are these guys? One disappeared, but why do they reappear? And what is their purpose in Chantal's channel? Chantal and Natter reindeer games, again, which was most of it back and forth, people sharing receipts for, you said you did this for me, you said you cared about this and that, but then you show this, da-da-da-da-da. Chantal feels she's being disrespected, I believe. So, we'll talk about that. And her community posts. There was too many to count. Too many to mention. She deleted most of them. There's a few still up. So that was a bigger part of communication from her to the audience that happened. But she doesn't leave them up when she does community posts. So you can't create anything like a timeline from the track she leaves. You've got to, like, follow the breadcrumbs, I guess. So first, we'll talk about empaths. Now, just so we're all talking about the same thing, Webster's Dictionary defines an empath as a person with paranormal ability to apprehend the mental and emotional state of another. Also, from Wikipedia, capacity to understand and feel what other people experience from their frame of reference. So, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. There's, like, sympathy, like I feel bad for you, and then there's empathy, like I've felt the same way. And I'm even the kind of person who can pick it up, too. So I have some, like, insight into that. Okay. Chantal the empath. First things first. Seriously? Seriously? I'm one of the nicer people I know, and I don't consider myself necessarily an empath. I'm just nice, and I can read people if they're having a hard time and try to make myself available if possible. But her being an empath? Give a few examples of empathy. And then I'll be convinced. Give me some of those. Share an example that doesn't make you look like a martyr. That doesn't make Chantal look like everyone's against me, everyone's out to get me, they don't want to see me happy, they want to see my channel taken down. There is an individual in each of those categories, at least one, who probably believe all that and want it to be true, don't want her channel up anymore, especially after the continued display of nudity coupled up with you don't get to know personal things about me. Okay, so she doesn't have an empathic spirit, I think, because she expects everything's in exchange. If I give you money, it's because you're supposed to love me. If I sleep with you, it's because I don't want you to sleep with anybody else. If you're sleeping with someone else, I'll drive. I don't know. But it turns into that martyred, all I did for you, and we know we're talking about Natter, all I did for you, how much I spent, this, that, all the untrue stories she defended are suddenly true when somebody doesn't text her back right away. That's vindictive. Childish. It is. I'll be 40 too. I'll be 40 in about a week or so. And I probably carried on like this as a teenager. Maybe a little later, because like when I came out, I was 18. So then we switch off of heterosexual teen development, and I'm a gay adult. So I can kind of understand some of the, but it doesn't. Okay. Listing the reasons someone wronged you and how you're a step above them is not the same as empathy. Just so we know. It's certainly not dignity. I mean, but she's never been hung up. She's not burdened by a conscience, I would say. So Chantal doesn't see herself the way she sees others. She sees herself as something different, separate, and above other people. She always thinks she's just a little bit better than whoever she's talking to. A little bit better. And if she runs into someone who has something more to say, whether it's in the chat or in person, if it's in the chat, blocked, 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 blocked. Again, as we said in the intro to the intro, if you're not kissing her ass and begging to see that fupa, you're an enemy. She doesn't like you. She has no time for you. She has time for your money. She has plenty of time for your money. And I can't blame Chantal for idiots sending her money. I can't. She's obviously got her game pretty tight if she's making what she claims to make per month. But she doesn't put herself on level with other people. She's just a little more special, a little more different. I suffered a little harder than you. I keep stuff behind the scenes because I'm a private person. Yeah. Anyway, so since she thinks she's superior, there's no chance of meeting someone where they're at emotionally. So she would have to find someone who was a complement to her, which means she could push them around. She doesn't perceive her relationship as good unless she's somewhat in control. Coming in as the one with money, transportation, resources, other stuff like that, puts you in a position to take care of people, to help people, or to take advantage of them by expecting something in return for the gift that was given. Especially money. You know, the running true, not true of her offering him a few grand a month just for sex. That's sad. That's not cute. That's not me impressed at someone throwing their money around. That's, oh, the poor girl. She just has her money because the rest of her's atrocious. Which seems to be what Natter believes. Just because a guy sleeps with you doesn't necessarily mean he likes you or thinks you're pretty. He thinks you're available. And the guys who you meet online in dark parking lots or at their house, that's not a date. It's one thing to size people up if you date online, being in the car and meeting them maybe would be safe. But to continue it that way, like, if you're not ashamed of what you're doing and you have no hang-ups about it, what's with the outhouse? What's with the secrecy? So, by the way, who the hell are you to talk to anyone about that? I'm no empath, but I feel for other people. I don't think she can. It's been discussed in some circles that she might legitimately be a sociopath. That's a grand accusation. I'm just going to say it's been observed. However, the things that were observed are not too different than her behavior. The idea that she can't relate to other people, that she doesn't know how humans react emotionally or socially or anything like that. She's totally divorced from it. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm even like, you know, it's not, I don't subject myself. Like, I wouldn't sit here and say, God, look what she puts me through as a viewer. I could put on something else, but I like talking about the bullshit she does because it's bullshit. More importantly, she believes the bullshit, I think. So that's kind of why I'm still in the Chantal game. Been debating switching to lives versus videos. Some people like some people like the other. Not permanently, but maybe more often do the lives. Leave a comment below if you think that's something you'd like, or if it's something you wouldn't prefer and you'd like the videos instead. Just to give me a little direction of how to best reach you with this high breaking news about Chantal. So, the real world would eat her alive. Her life is the phone. Her life is this. This is it. And she only exists from here up. So the fat fishing, I've fat fished. It's what it's called. I used my senior year high school photo till I was 23. Okay? I did not look like that. I didn't have as much hair. I didn't have as thin a body. I was probably more honest then. But I used that picture for a while because I felt if I used a picture of myself as is, it wouldn't be acceptable. So then meeting someone like that, you know, it's kind of, you kind of want to hide yourself. You know, people meet anonymously now. Before it used to be like, you met someone online? That's terrifying. You'll end up in a piece of luggage on the side of Interstate 80. Or you end up with situations like, you know, Chantal finds herself in, where you get very little from the person. There's not a whole lot to read from text. Like, I don't know if Natter responded to her text thinking that that person was going to be the one who showed up at his house. She said she showed him pictures of her big. I'm inclined not to believe that. So there you go, baby girl. There you go. Bottom line, miss me with the dumb shit. Okay. Next, the lovers. Now, this week, we found out that motorcycle guy was turned down by her. Not a good fit. She just needs to work on herself. Something.
Of course she does.
Yeah, she's got to put the focus back on her for a change. So, these guys that she had, Moto Guy and the other one, and the other couple, there was Roman in there. These were not people she's actually interested in. Maybe sexually, if she's attracted to them. These were meant to try to make Natter jealous that she was out with other men. Okay, that'd be like me trying to make Jodie Foster by killing Reagan. It's one of those kind of things. The other Tinder boys are just, you know, and she ghosts them. She'll talk to them, she'll hang out with them, make plans, stand them up, and ghost them. So the next time someone stands her up, suck it hard, because that's the lollipop of your karma coming back. When you treat people poorly over a consistent period of time, either karma will come for you later in the future, later in the next life, I don't know, or you will just have pissed off so many people in the greater Ottawa area that nobody wants to talk to you. I mean, it would take a while to go through everybody, but I guess it looks like you're starting at the bottom and then maybe work your way up. So, she comes off with money as her advantage, I said earlier, as her one-up to bring the relationship. She meets partners who have sketchy employment of their own, if any, who are not... Ugh, I'm sorry, I just pictured Natter again. The naked dancing, the shirt with the hula and all that stuff. I can't. He looks like like he's on a pride float on Pride Day. You know, when sometimes, I was going to say some of the straight guys come out and show off just for the sake of pride. He's obviously not 100% straight, at least not sexually. I don't think he'd ever date a man, but would he sleep with one on the side? Probably. Pigs are pigs. They don't care. And what's lining up for all of us is that what happens when two narcissistic, self-centered pigs meet and go with each other. And they were going to go start of life, according to Chantal. Didn't he get her like a little stuffed bear for Valentine's? And even that she bought herself and said it was from him. It's the game of giving someone money to then want them to spend it on you. Like, then you're just buying yourself shit. No one's getting it for you. It's stuff you get for the engagement ring. The engagement ring? That really says we're going to have a life together too. I don't know. So the lovers have written themselves out for the time being because she's now just, and we'll talk about, going after Natter and Dede hard. The community posts were exploding this week. Absolutely exploding. With things into the direction of how she should be treated in the chat. Things about Natter's with May. That was brought up. All the stuff that she says, you know, he should be in jail for. It's illegal. It's this, it's that. We went that route. You changed your mind. Change it again and see if the cops believe it. You know, this gives an unfortunate example of how some women lie about rape or assault. Verbal, he's a piece of shit. I'm pretty sure he told her off a few times. Did he put his hands on her? I wasn't there. So much happens behind the scenes, you know? Behind the scenes. She's like, like a mule pulling borax across the desert. But in real life, she's in control. She's in charge of everything. She's on top of it and she knows what's up. And the rest of us just are jealous I guess. Bunch of jealous haters we are. So just an example of something that would be a lie to the rest of us, or skeevy to the rest of us. We talked about the Walmart shoes again. Now, for anyone not familiar, when Chantal and him first went out, it was like freaking Curly Sue, Pretty Woman. Like, he didn't know what nice stuff was, so he was going to steal $15 shoes. Now, she says, I never said that. Tell me where I said that. I never said that. So, like good reactors, they find the video. Yes, she says.
She did say it.
She copped to all of it. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, honestly. Let me give you further about the sneaker thing. Okay. How that lie got buried, or she pretty much just contradicted it. She said, yes, it's true. It's all true. Now, what she said was that she thought he was ripping the tag off the sneakers and was going to put them on to take him out. And she was like, no, I'll buy them for you. That is the first red flag she should have got from him. She was talking about the other guy she's with. Oh, too many red flags with Moto Guy. Too many red flags with this one. The gonorrhea, the first night showing up and seeing a woman crying that he's cheating. Okay, she's you finally. You've moved up. It's like volleyball. You've rotated into the position of that. That's just where you are now. So, I mean, so he got sneakers or something, but she absolutely said it. She absolutely did. She can pick apart her words and tease and torture. If she didn't say it explicitly, she wanted the viewer to believe that it happened. Because by saying, quote, that really happened, unless it's a lie, we're supposed to assume it's true. For God's sake. Yes, she paid for Natter. She pays for his stuff. I mean, that was always news. But buying things, calling yourself generous, but then buying things for people with an expectation of something mental, physical, emotional, romantic, sexual coming back to you is calculated. That's not, I'm a generous person and I found someone who enjoys my generosity. It's I think I'm rich, and so I think I'm better than you, pretty much. Because when I run out of things to say, I'll just say something like I can buy and sell you, maybe something like that. But you cannot buy lovers and friends. There's always the taint on it that it's not authentic because it had to be bribed. And I don't mean showering with gifts, I mean bribed. Marc and I are rather close. As we've been together 8 times as long as the two of them. We've had 0 physical altercations. The cops weren't here, for that. I had a mental health episode once and we did call the police, but that's not news. I did a video about that. So, I don't know. But all those relationships, the things like buying them, which is her ace in the hole, was having money. If she didn't have money, she'd be frickin', I don't even know, spit out the bottom of Tinder probably for trying to hoe it up. There's nothing wrong with having an active sex life, man, woman, whoever you are, if you're, safe and thoughtful. But her idea is she's emotional and they trample on her emotions. That's her perspective. I wonder what their perspective would be. I think I would just think, you keep that money coming, I'll tell you whatever the hell you want. About being trashed online, the way he was treated for that, though. Natter dragged him from one end to the other. And now it's about alternating videos where she wants to see bad things happen to him. She'll say, I'm just worried, is he eating? Is he this? Yeah, that's like someone worried if you're eating. He's eating. He's fine. He's a chef, remember? Do we remember the chicken? Oh, delicious. Love it. So, the games they play are dumb. When 2 smug sociopaths fight, who's the winner? The audience. At that rate, they're hurting each other, not really anybody else. They're sparing other partners from being with them, so it's not spreading that either. And when I say spread, I mean spread everything. Spread eagle, spreads STDs, everything. That's the only thing that Natter and you give to the community. A social disease. Otherwise, it's just, and why isn't that a red flag? Red flags with the other guys is that they were too nice. She likes pushovers at least once in a while. I mean, she had Pete's for a while. But they're too nice, and that's a red flag. But him smacking her, yelling at her, telling her She says, hey, I like you over the phone. And he says, where's my thumbnails? It doesn't paint the picture she wants it to of what happens off camera. He is not making life plans with her. They probably looked at a house on the side of the road or something, and she decided that he thought they should live together and live happily ever after and do all sorts of dancing and baba ganoush and whatever. So the idea that she would be surprised is stupid. The first night she went in there was a woman on the bed saying he cheated, and then the next guy threw a 50 at her to take her top off. Those aren't red flags. Those are good God-fearing folk right there. So, all right. And then lastly, and we're having Marc's joining us today. The tons of community posts. Now, not specifically what's in each one, but the use of them. Past, she would be at Natter's when she was doing community posts because she couldn't film. Or she didn't want anyone to know where she was because she was at Natter's. So she wouldn't film at all. But she would text like crazy. She would post on the community board like crazy. 2 posts an hour, 8 posts a day, and then go back and carefully delete them so she doesn't get caught up in her own lies, so that Natter doesn't get mad if he does talk to her. Everything's to get. Everything is to get. Everything is to take. Let me get something. And if it's not rightfully mine, it is now. Because whatever. I'm changing. I'm a changed person. I shaved my head for this. I used to shave my head in crisis for a while. Guess what shaving your head doesn't do? Fix you inside. No matter how bald or how heavy or how much makeup or how many really nice skater dresses she puts on, it's still her under there. It's still her under there. Don't be mistaken by lipstick and some relatively okay makeup skills. You know, she kind of has that, I think. But so the community post went talking about wedding, the two of them, the wedding arc. Everyone's projecting what the arc will be next. Someone said wedding. I seriously doubt it. I don't even think Natter would go through the motions of something like that. He gets something out of their relationship together. Money is one thing. This is not news. Is he getting anything else? He lives with Dede. I think his emotional and companionship needs are getting met by her. Otherwise, he'd be walking to Chantal's. And the fact that she would give them rides places and take them ways. If she feels disgusted with herself, then she shouldn't do the things she's doing. That doesn't mean change our minds that it's not disgusting. It means you should stop doing disgusting shit. That's all I gotta say for that. Saying that you're above certain things or better than, or the I could buy and sell you thing. Live in a filthy home, pining for a crackhead. Your car's falling apart. You haven't paid your taxes. I only know any of this because it comes from her videos and her chats. I'm not Snoopy. I actually don't even go to Kiwi Farms. I haven't been there yet, though I hear it's a great resource for things you missed. So she's not above anything, not above any of it. She took physical advantage of Pete's when she was drunk. If he did that to her, or one man did it to another, I don't care how drunk you are, get the fuck off of me. And you're only using me, we'll say me as Pete's at the moment, to try to make Natter jealous, to try to spark a conversation. You lay a kiss on your ex of like 10 years when you're wasted. Yeah, that's above everything. That's above all of us. We don't have unsavory behaviors, you know. God. And just for reference, I've never sworn on my grandmother's life and then when I was exposed as a liar, say, I think she would have understood. Nightmare of selfishness. So she's trying to steer the ship basically with the community post. So I want people to look at this, not that. I want you to think about this and not that. Don't look at my behavior over here. Look over here. Look how mean the VIBs are. They give me opinions that aren't exactly mine. Whatever. I need another set of eyes. Marc!
Yeah?
Can you come in here, please?
Yes, I can.
Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Come hither.
I am here.
Hey, everybody. You guys know Marc. So, we were just wrapping up some of the things I was talking about this week.
Yeah.
The community posts that are not the most revealing thing, actually. There's more. She was naked again this week.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Check it out. Now, how is that an accident? And this is not tantamount to Sharon Stone uncrossing her legs at Basic Instinct. It's a very different set of
It
circumstances
sure is.
during which I'm viewing her business.
Yeah.
Which, who asked? Yeah. Who asked? No one cared. So I just wanted to get your kind of opinion on things. You were here when I was doing the notes. You were here when I was watching.
Yeah. I've kind of been, like, we were live last week, so like for the last 2 weeks, I've kind of had a
You've been
break
yeah.
from her, and it was so nice.
Mhm.
It was not. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm still at the same place, I was with her. I just think this is such a mess. And, to the point where if you take a step back from the entire situation, it is no wonder why people think that this whole thing for the last year was scripted and set up. You know what I mean? Like, really, come on. Like, it's still going on. And just when you think you heard it all, something else happens. I mean, it's
Dede has an illegitimate child.
Yeah,
Nothing about her will come
bizarre.
up. Something about everybody else
I
comes
know,
up.
it's so bizarre. But, my opinion on the situation is, like, coming from a professional view of it is that, oh, yeah, she's still on drugs. Absolutely. We all know this. I mean, she even said it herself. She said in the one
About
video that
cutting lines.
I cut the cocaine too much, or something like that. I mean, it came out of her mouth, was the point, so all of that is still going on. Yes, she is absolutely going to have consequences, as if her life isn't a consequence enough.
I know, this is living karma. We're seeing everything that makes her upset.
Gosh.
She's earned.
Oh, she has, and I have very little sympathy for her now, and I do try to, at work, I kind of I don't know if pride is the right word. I kind of pride myself in having patience and, trying to give people chances and having sympathy, all the while trying to remain professional and do what's right for that person, Now, of course, this is a different situation. I don't see her or anything like that, but
No.
I'm telling you, she needs professional help. And I mean, some people saying she's a sociopath. I'm sorry, I have to agree.
Yeah.
I do. I know it's...
I'm just sharing the floating thoughts that are out there.
I know. Me too.
Not saying I disagree with them.
Like, her behaviors, her actions, her words is definitely reflects the sociopath. I don't know. But anyway, an empath. That's a joke.
Sure. Yeah.
That's a joke. But anyway, she needs professional health, both on the DNA side of it for drug addiction, and she needs some serious mental health therapy as well. She has some serious things that she does need to work through if she wants to get any type of, I don't know, quote, normal life going,
Yeah.
I mean, all of this is due to her, to her mental health. All of this that's happening here, because a person with self-respect, that respected themselves even a tiny little bit, this kind of stuff
Wouldn't happen.
would not be happening like this. It just wouldn't. And I would, if this were anyone else, I would say, oh yeah, she's going along with all this because it's great for her business, it's great for her views, But I don't think this is the case here. She lives her entire life on YouTube. She is live on YouTube more than she's not, So when she says things like, you don't know what happens in my real life, you don't hear things that, when the camera's off, Well, we hear pretty much most of it, okay? I mean, almost all of her life is live and in front of all of us. But I definitely wanted to say one thing. I would like to take a look at other people's responsibility in relation to this disgusting mess of a channel, okay? For one thing, and I mean YouTube, okay? I mean, take a look at this, okay? This is, like, disgusting. Nobody wants to see it, and it breaks terms of service. This accidental flashing and exposing of all of her privates, we'll say, is just unacceptable. It's not cute. It's not funny. The first time, if it was an accident, okay, funny.
Yeah, but not after this
This
many.
it is just disgusting and shows, it just adds to her character.
Not to be a snob, but it's lack of breeding. Probably.
Yeah, that's a good term. I like that.
Lack of
I love
breeding.
that. That's good. Yeah. Oh, well, I've said this before. She's a person of very little quality from what we've seen and what she gives to us, you know? And it definitely, I would not have said that about her prior to this Natter situation. I would not have said that.
No,
about
I
her.
halfway liked her before Natter.
I halfway liked her too. I thought she was a bit of a mess, a little quirky. She had some, but
often on diets, but that's messy. That's some people.
nothing like this. And I think, if anything, this last year we have seen her true character. We have seen, who she really is. You know, empathetic, absolutely not. Narcissistic, self-centered.
That's not a diagnosis.
Righteous?
I'll say yeah.
I know, right?
Righteous? I'll say yeah to that too.
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
step off my square by making diagnoses or anything,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
any lay person can see that this is not, acceptable behavior.
Yeah,
it is, but
it's
if you
not,
perform it, don't expect people to kiss your ass.
Right, exactly. And, I don't understand how she can still have a channel with all of that going on. You know, the absolute discredit that was shown to survivors of domestic abuse and domestic violence and sexual violence, is completely unacceptable in my situation. That's when I drew the line, when all that came, like, for my own personal feelings about her. It's disgusting. And, that can go into that as well. You don't have to do a lot of research to see what she has done, and it's not right. But anyway, I just, it just occurred to me this week with, like, what is YouTube doing about this? Nothing at all.
People tweet
so far.
YouTube, people report it.
They do.
It's,
They do.
There's a lot of stupid reasons to report Chantal, but there's plenty of good ones.
And
There's
plenty of good ones. And, when there are no consequences to these behaviors and these actions,
Extreme.
it gets more extreme, she gets more righteous, and then she throws it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
Which is just a vicious circle with this whole thing, So, but that's all I have to say about this. She needs to get her life together. If she doesn't, she's gonna end up probably dead, because we have to remember that she has all these underlying physical things happening as well. So I did get a couple questions. They asked us, if she is still on drugs like speed, like cocaine or meth or anything like that, why isn't she skinny? Why hasn't she lost weight? And that it can happen when you're on speed, and especially meth. It can definitely happen. And but it also doesn't happen too. It depends on each individual.
I've met
their
300-pound
metabolism,
people
all of those
who
things.
were speedheads.
Who were speedheads and meth heads. Yeah, so it may not always happen. But remember, she did lose weight some time ago, and she was on coke. She's said that period of time. So she will drop some weight, but she'll always be obese no matter what drug she does. Yeah. So
whatever.
well, anyway, I took too much time up.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. Have
All
a
right.
great weekend, everybody.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try to circle the wagons here and see what in the hell is up. It was the stuff I don't like about her channel, but magnified this week. To the extent that she irritates me, you have to care to be irritated, but to the extent that she irritates me, she did more irritating behaviors this week. She was a little more grand, a little more queen of the beezers. Yeah, that's a good contingent. So that's where we'll leave it. That's where we're going to leave it. My projection in the next week is more of the same crap. We just got paid. So, you know how she's like on payday. All of a sudden, she needs to nap all day for 3 days and then comes back wild-eyed, more rosacea, no wig. I mean, I want to say if she's happy, she's happy. But if you're not happy, go fucking do something about it. It's not everyone's responsibility to fix your life. It's yours. It's mine. To fix mine, it's all of ours. Marc's his, everybody. So I'm talking to deaf ears with her, I know, but at least try to get it together if you can. I'm not optimistic, but I've seen sicker people get well. I've seen sicker people than Chantal get better. People with her personalities are a little more fixed. You know, if someone has like a narcissistic personality or histrionic, any of the other things like that. Again, not a diagnoser myself, but I don't need to be a doctor to observe selfishness, dishonesty, manipulation, game playing between the audience and her, between her and Natter. Like, I don't know. Get another hobby rather than screwing with people's lives. You know, when someone says, don't text me again, you don't text them again. You're not still girlfriends with a guy 3 months after you broke up. You're especially not after he said you were only together a week out of the 11 months. I know, it's different on the other side, I'm sure. Can't be that different because you sound pretty fucking miserable. And then when you're miserable because of him, talk to the audience. When you don't like the Beezers, it's because he's a sweet guy and what, he doesn't deserve to eat? Oh, for Christ's sake. He eats plenty, I'm sure. If he loves his own cooking, I'm sure he's on it. By the way, watch the video where Natter makes mac and cheese. This is Mary MC.
Oh, that's great.
It's a comparison of his mac and cheese to another woman who's also kind of known on YouTube for not being the best cook. It's a really cool side-by-side if you want to catch it out. So check it out. So go ahead. That's my shout out to her because I think she does good videos. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact info is listed all below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. We're going live at 6 p.m. for our regular Sunday live. Have one every week. It's usually pretty chill. We have good mods. It's not a hoopla. It's the cool side of the pillow. So
Did you say hoopa?
I didn't say hoopa. I said hoopla. It's the attack word.
You said a fupa.
I know. No, not in this lifetime. So thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 6. All right? Bye. Say bye, Marc.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.